Today I'm gonna be sharing a little bit of my journey that hopefully you guys can learn and take something out of it after this session. So before I start, let me introduce a little bit about Tokopedia. So Jasin has touched about it a little bit, but we want to share a little bit about our vision and mission. So Tokopedia vision is to build a super ecosystem where anyone can start and discover anything. That's why our tagline in Bahasa is mulai aja dulu and selalu ada, selalu bisa. And the mission is to democratize and empower commerce through technology for everyone, everywhere. And here's some glimpse of our 12 years journey. Started in 2009 in a small Soho as a C2C marketplace business. And we get our fundings, we get our awards, and acquired Bright Story and Parent Story. And fast forward to 2021, Tokopedia and Gojek have united to become GoTo, to be the go-to ecosystem for daily life, combining e-commerce, on-demand, and financial services. So some numbers for you here. We had 6,000 plus nakama. So nakama is how we called our team. So if there are nakama today is watching this, hi nakama. And in our platform, we already have 11 million plus merchants with 550 million plus products. And out of these, 86.5% are first-time entrepreneurs. And we have reached 99% of districts in Indonesia. And our businesses ranging from marketplace and digital goods, fintech and payment, logistic and fulfillment, and Mitra Tokopedia, which enables small merchants to sell digital goods and keep their offline store. And that's a little bit about Tokopedia. And going on to the next topic here, which is my leadership, or I will say my growth journey I want to share with you, and hopefully you can learn something about this. So obviously these pictures you are seeing now is pre-pandemic pictures where we can actually gather within a close proximity. So these are pictures from our external workshops, and we did also workshops for other people to join in our office, my interns, my teammates, my leaders, and other nakamas from other function. So in a nutshell, this is my journey starting from an associate to where I am today. So in 2012, I graduated from with a title of Bachelor of Information Technology in age of 19. So I can say that I started school earlier. Hence, in 2012, I got the job as an associate engineer in Kuala Lumpur. So what we did back then is banking applications for walk-in customers, so that we actually did went to the clients ourselves to deploy our applications. We did mass UATs with them, and even being an associate, we already have to train our users and be very close with them, because we have to demo our applications and be there to support if there's any issues. So that's I spent 4 years in the job, and um, basically there's a time where we got an Indonesian client, hence naturally they need an Indonesian member to be to bridge the communication. So naturally I was placed for that project. So there was a time where I go back and forth Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta. And when I I was back in Jakarta, I feel like the urge to go back is getting stronger. So yeah, because I spent a lot of time as well in Kuala Lumpur because I studied there. So Also, I want to get closer to my family. That's why, like any other sane person, right? Before I resigned, I did a job search, and I was able to interview with some technology company as well. And finally, I took the offer with Tokopedia, just because I was very amazed with how a local company is getting noticed by international eyes, and there is a pride in there, right? And then I was very on board with the vision and mission. Being from a small town girl myself, back in my childhood, I maybe visited Jakarta, our capital city, maybe just every once every year. So whenever I visited Jakarta, I feel like, oh, this is a very high. I see highways in an awe, and then I see a very tall buildings, things like that. So it's like a I'm very on board with the vision and mission. So I joined as an associate, and there my journey goes. And in 2018, I will say that is a life-changing year, and in a bit you will see why. I will share with you until the present. So here I want to talk about how my perspective and my priorities change, starting from an associate to where I am today. So I spent almost 5 years, right, being an associate. So at that time, as an associate, I just do my own thing. I have a lead that assign me tasks. I just want to finish my task as best as I could and then move on to the next one. Just focus on completing the task given. But I made mistakes and have no mitigation plan whatsoever. So I can also share with you a little bit about my mistakes. Um, Maybe engineers can relate, but I did drop a table before. Thankfully, it's not in production. It's in a UAT, but still, being an associate, that was a super hard attack. That moment, I wish I didn't didn't repeat it again. Thankfully, they have a backup, so I'm not, yeah. So that was my mistake, and um, things like this happen, right? And another story is, after we deployed our applications to the production, everything was fine before, but the application went panic in production. Hence, but after the deployment, we just went by in our days. We didn't realize it because of one changes in one payment method. Um, make the whole payment page go down, so nobody can pay at that time. And we just, like, that is a big lesson for us. We started to do checklist and whatnot to make mitigation plans in the future. So things like this happen, but you just have to have mitigation plan in the future, right? So in 2017, I was a senior, and I was very selfish at that time. So I feel like I must be the role model because I'm better than these associates, right? That's why he promoted me as a senior. But I was very happy with. I enjoyed that kind of additional responsibility because I can be a thought partner for my lead, and I just meet more people because of that additional responsibility. So that was a quite fun time for me. And in 2018, I told you before that this is a life-changing year for me. There will be two parts of it: the first half of 2018 and then the second half of 2018. So the first half of 2018, I became a lead, and I have a team of 4 people. So I need to ensure my 3 other team members are performing well within their scope. And I was also half doing individual contributor task because I have my own task beyond caring for the other 3 team members, right? So here I learned to be responsible for others' result as well, and for their growth as well. And do you know that all this time on my career journey, I always have different leads, just because things happened. And yeah, I feel like because I had different people leading, but I'm always in this on the same team, which is payment team. So I feel confident, right? I know most of the people. I have been doing this for years. I know in and out of the system. I feel confident. But things happened in the second half of 2018. So um, in Toko, right, at that year, we are just maturing. The career ladder for engineering are just maturing. So what Toko did for people that seems potential for the next career path and has is ready actually and already performing in the next career path, uh, they challenge them, right, to be on the next level. So at the same time, there was a company team structure pivot. So I was totally uncomfortable. I was out of my comfort zone. I have to naturally learn and relearn things. And yeah, so uh, within that company team structure pivot, I was one of the people that was trusted to drive the change positively throughout the entire organization. And at first, I didn't even buy into the idea. I was actually resistant at that time. But I feel like, okay, if they chose me, then I have to return the favor by honoring the trust, right? This is a challenge. This is an opportunity to be to go to the next level. I say take it, right? Take it and make sure that the decision was not wrong. So I went from leading three people in one team to become leading four other leads in four other teams. So it multiplies really quickly before I knew it. So they didn't know me that well, and I also didn't really talk to them in a day-to-day basis just because that time we are also getting bigger. So how do I win the trust from them? So I just talk to each one of them. I set up a short, mid, and long-term plan to adjust with the change, but keep them motivated and keep them positive. And we went out also to create our external brandings and workshops to attract next level talents because us today will have to be better than us yesterday, right? So the proactiveness was really there to reach out to the other key people that I feel like I need to talk to and listen to their feedbacks and contribution and how can we help and how can we sail through these changes. Other people feedbacks really matters too. And you know when you were in a challenged position, right, you were already invited to some of the meetings that you have never stepped in before, meaning that you will see another league of people, so more senior leaderships in those kind of meetings. And when I was in that meeting, I just become a sponge, I just absorb everything. I watch and learn, I watch how people agreed and disagreed and how they deliver their message, key message and goals, and see how people kind of how's people personality basically. So I know that, oh, I want to be like him or her, or oh, this kind of personality I need to tone down, things like that. And um, usually in some meetings I was given the opportunity to present also, or to speak, so there I can practice my communication and negotiation skill. And yeah, so it happens that way. And finally, in 2019, I learned that um, I have to scale and replicate. Because do you know that the most junior person in your team with the most senior person in your team, they're all humans, right? They all have the same 24 hours, 7 days a week to go by their days. So how do you keep track with all of this, right? With all the, multipliers. So you have to learn the art of letting go. Being an individual contributor for most of the my career, right? It's quite hard of letting go, because sometimes you might think that, okay, it's faster if I do it myself, rather than I have to teach the others, because they might not have all the context. um, that might work in a short term, but in the long term it will actually burn you out, and you don't want it to happen, because you want to be in this position for a long time, right? So usually, how do I do this is I do this method called lead by example. So in a lot of discussions or in meetings, I bring my n-1. So I show them how to do it, and then on the next time I let them to run the show. So uh, I am not involved unless they have blockers or things that they don't know how to solve. Then they can come to me, no problem, right? That's why it's really important to prepare for your n-1 to back up and to fill in your shoes. So next time when a higher opportunity comes in your way, you make sure that the show still runs, right? You have your n-1 ready to replace you at any time. But how do you make sure that your n-1 is actually performing to your expectations? I found skip level meetings and 360 feedbacks are super helpful. Skip level meetings is you talk to your n-1, n-1, right? Say for example, my n-1 name is Jimin lah, for example. Yeah, Jimin. You have to tell Jimin that, Jimin, I'm gonna conduct skip level meetings, and I'm gonna tell you the results, the summary, what have you done well, and what are your improvement points. And don't make these skip level meetings a secret or a surprise from Jimin, right? Um, but I wouldn't tell who give what feedback. So what matters is just the summary or the bullet points. And 360 feedbacks is something that we also do. So Jimin can nominate his raters, 360 feedback raters, but the direct lead can also add more raters from people that the lead thinks that they need to hear from. So you have the holistic view of your n-1 performance, and sometimes that's just the way you get most holistic feedbacks, because you cannot be with Jimin every day, every time, right? So with this one, I feel like I have a flaw, which is I still want my team to be the best team. That was a selfish thought, and as I go further in my career, I feel like now it's not what's best for my team, it's what's best for the company, right? Because a team is like a car, a car, they have parts where it makes a car to can walk, right? You have the steering wheel, you have the engines, you have the doors, and um depends on the severity of these parts, right? If one part breaks down, the whole car will still be slowing down. So that's kind of the idea of this, right? So I started to think, how can I help others to be successful too? Um, Sometimes in a team, right? There were people who actually can go beyond what they are doing right now, but they didn't do it, or maybe they don't need to, because there is a lead on top of them. So if we see like this, there is actually internal job transfers, and people can transfer job still within the tech team, but just a different business units, let's say, or people can transfer jobs to the other functions. And when you see a potential person like this, you deploy them to the other area that needs help, and let these qualities replicate to the other place as well. So this is how we replicate ourselves, yeah, and do the best for the company. And the second thing is dare to challenge the team because you care, right? I was a product of a challenge too, and if somebody didn't challenge me, I might not be speaking with you guys today. I might still be doing whatever I was doing a few years ago, right? Challenge the team because you care, right? And also, if people didn't meet your expectations, you have to be able to give candid feedback right away, not in public, but in one-on-ones right away. Because if you keep tolerating this mediocrity, you keep, um, you know, not challenging the person to be better, it will go down the bad way. Trust me. And maybe the most important part is also don't limit your learnings just inside the company. Um, I have books from global leaders that I read. I enjoy reading. I join talks and trainings by other companies. I find mentor, not like an official mentor, but anyone that I feel like I admire that person. I follow them, and they can give a value addition for me, new insights for me, so that you just broaden your perspective and you have an open mind, right? Sometimes your solutions might be the best just for you, but when you add in all this additional perspective, you might be more mature in your perspective. I talk about perspective a lot because that's the keyword that really rings true during my journey. And obviously, find and nurture more engineering talents to join our mission. So Indonesia has a lot of tech companies right now, so we need more engineering talents to realize the mission. And Tokopedia has been doing this with Tokopedia Academy. So this is one of the effort for Indonesia's future digital talent. And I want to share a sneak peek about Tokopedia Academy. So let's see this video a little bit, yeah. Okay, so there's a sneak peek from Tokopedia Academy. So you can visit academy.tokopedia.com for more information. So with that, here are some key takeaways that I can share to start your engineering leadership journey. The first is on board with company's vision and love the products. Let's just be real, right? Things will be easier if you love the product, if you believe on the company mission and vision, so that every time you come to work, it feels like you are contributing something back to the society. And my husband, my families, my relative, they did use the product, so sometimes I'm kind of like half customer service for them, but that's fine. We're happy to listen to our users feedback and take it to our roadmap. And then the second one is honor trust from leaders, right? If you are given an opportunity, you take it, right? And if you felt, that's not the end of the world. And but if you succeed, you can say that it will be the best decision that your leader had ever made. So honor the trust, work with integrity. And the third one is watch and learn. um, the easiest way to start your engineering leadership journey is to copycat first. I'm sure you have teachers, you have a boss, you have a leaders that you admire, and you like to be treated that way by them, and you admire some of their qualities. So you can try to copy first what they did, because over the time, the kind of conflicts or problems will start being repetitive, so you can also take example from them how they actually solve or make decisions, right? And the fourth one is to be proactive, because if you didn't be proactive, you might be slower to reach where you want to go. So be proactive, go out your way, go beyond call of duty, talk to the other functions, and along the time you will get some more insights from them, and then you might finally, um, you know, took the pieces of the puzzles and put it in your solutions, right? And the last one is scale and replicate. Just because you are one person, you cannot be in every single meeting. You cannot master every single tech stacks. You know, um, obviously for me, when I did my uni in 2009, we didn't get the cloud. We didn't get the cloud lesson, but obviously our microservices now lives in cloud. So, scale and replicate, and never stop learning. And with that, please give my presentation a 5-star review. So thank you so much. This is my short sharing. Hopefully it inspires you. And back to MC.